the same thing 4 times in 4 different methods. Now, the first time, you're just going to draw it however you would normally draw it. All right. So, whatever your normal approach to drawing a picture is, I'm going to give you guys like 4 or 5 minutes and you're going to draw this image. All right. And you'll label it drawing one, my way, or whatever you want to say about it. All right. So, with your name in the chat, so I don't end up marking you absent, I'm going to share my screen with you. All right. So, your goal at the moment is to draw Stewie to the best of your ability off this picture. All right. Look at it real good. Because there are details that like you don't pick up on right away. Like he's got a shadow. He not just has a shadow on his head, but he's got one on his body. He's got some on his eyeballs. His eyeballs have shadows. It's a little uncommon for a cartoon character. But take and draw Stewie to the best of your ability. All right. On your marks. Get set. Go. Starting to get worried that my timer wasn't working while the songs were playing. Okay, cool. So I'm going to stop my share for a second here. And we're going to go over to my desk. And we're going to try a different way of drawing him. Now, I'm not sure which way you attempted to draw him. Because that's your way. That's the way you've been the most comfortable with all this time. But there might be things you can borrow from these next attempts or methods that help you out, that make it easier for you. All right. Now, the one method that we're going to talk about right now is going to be called the simple shape method. So what you basically do is you take a good look at Stewie and you try to break him down to his simplest forms, his simplest shapes. So if I look at Stewie's big old gargantuan head, all right, and I start to see what kind of shape it is, it kind of reminds me of a lemon. So I'm going to really take my time here. And I'm going to start with a lemon. All right. Then I'm going to look at his body. His body kind of reminds me of a pill. So not unlike the Minions. Although I notice part of this pill comes in because that's his shoulder. Then he has 2 kind of pill shapes for his legs. Or chiclets if you're into that kind of gum. His foot looks like a bread roll or a croissant. His other foot looks exactly the same. Now, there are some things I need to erase. Ooh, evil pencil has no eraser. And that's kind of the downside of using the simple shape method, is you're always going to find yourself in the middle of going, all right, I need to fix this by erasing it. Both arms kind of look like sausages. One is tucked slightly under the other. All right. And now from this simple shapes, I got to start adding details. So as I take a look at his outfit, he seems to have a onesie on or a jumper, not unlike Mickey Mouse. All right. That means this line's got to go. His eyes are frighteningly far apart and also incredibly round. They are split directly in half, just like Garfield or Homer Simpson's. But the thing that makes him look evil is the angle of the eyebrows. Also makes him look smug. He's got a little check mark for a nose He's got a curvy check mark for a mouth with a line that comes down. Then, even though we know he is a child, he seems to be suffering from some male pattern baldness. Could possibly be the love child of Dr. Evil. So I'm going to put in this line for where his shadow goes. Finish off the two curves for the ear. There's a super light shadow on his eyeball, which is really creepy. And there is a shadow that runs down his entire body. All right. So this method that I just did, the simple shape method, is basically how most comic books are drawn. So I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes on this one. Basically break it into its simple shapes to begin with, and then go from there. I think I made him a little too long. It now makes him not look like an ankle biter, but possibly a toddler. Maybe a frightening looking teenager. I'm not sure. All right. I'm going to share my screen again. All right. On your marks, get set, go. Try to draw him with simple shapes this time around. How many people found out that your first one was better than your second, or how many people found out your second was better? Which one was better? Throw it there in the chat. Let me know. All right, second one was better for some of you. All right, cool. Both bad but better. All right, well, and that's what we're trying to weed out. Is it you're getting better because you're drawing him a bunch more? Because like you draw the same thing over and over again, you get better at it. Or is it the method? Now, that method may have not worked for you, and that's understandable. Not every method works with everybody. But what we're doing here is trying to figure out what works for you. So this next one we're going to do is going to go back to our hands, right? Remember we did the contour lines with our hands? We're going to do a contour line Stewie. So what you'll do is you put your pencil on your paper. This won't be a blind contour or anything crazy like that. But you'll put your pencil on your paper, and you will not take your pencil off until Stewie is done. All right. All right. And you got to remember, you can change the pressure as you go. All right. This may work better for you. This may not work better for you. What we're going to do is find out. If nothing else, it's going to help you start to get into the right brain, which is the side of your brain that can actually draw. Judge distance and all those other kind of swell things. Now, I had way better concentration the first three classes, because come the third time or fourth time you're doing a Stewie as a contour line, it is a little harder to focus. Check mark for a nose. I think I just made him deceptively more evil looking. All right. And you will notice as you try to do this contour line, your approach to drawing it is starting to differ too. whoops. All right, whoops is not usually a good term to hear, especially by your surgeon. So there's my twisted-handed Stewie. I'll move that up a little bit. All right, so this next one, contour line. Do not lift the pencil off the paper until you are done. On your marks, get set, go. Oh, I should probably pop up my screen because it'll be easier. When we draw from the right side of our brain, we have to make the left side bored. We actually, here's the problem. I say Christmas tree right now. Christmas tree. All of you just thought of that little air freshener that hangs in your rearview mirror or hangs in the rearview mirror of a lot of cars. Our left brain, which we work on all the time in school, wants to categorize things as symbols. And we talked about symbols at the beginning of the semester just because of this. Wow, that hair is getting big. We have to stop the left brain from wanting to draw what it is that we want to draw, because the right brain's all about angles and curves and lines. But the moment you say Christmas tree, the left brain starts throwing in those, the triangles with the scent and the pine and all that. So what we have to do is make it so that the left brain can't recognize what it is we're drawing. So this next one we're going to do is going to seem a little odd, but I did have 3 people in my last class manage to do this, and they were like, wow, it turned out almost exact. So give it a shot. If it doesn't work, you never have to do this again. But we're going to see if you can draw Stewie upside down. What? I'll show you what I'm talking about. There's Stewie right side up. Here's Stewie upside down. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with his feet at the top of the paper, and you're going to work your way down, and then lastly draw the head. All right. So let's see how far we can get with this. You guys got about 4 minutes, I believe, before class is over. So have at it. On your marks, get set, go. All right, for those people who lost audio, you are drawing this upside down. And sadly, we are just about out of time here. So use the next 30 seconds or so to finish up if you can. If not, take a screen capture of him upside down and try to work on him when you get a chance. Now, I do need these submitted. That I am going to give you a grade for these. Since you did them in class, should be an easy 4. As long as you're making the effort. Remember, I'm not grading on how pretty they are. It's kind of like strength building. We're getting better, right? We're lifting more and we're becoming more accustomed to doing it. See, somebody had one that was the best one. Oh, that is Allison to everyone. Thank you, Allison. So yeah, sometimes this really works, is just shutting down that left brain from all the noise that it makes, and letting your right brain actually take over. All right, so we'll do a little bit more of this next week when we get together. I think pretty sure one of the days is going to be a work day, so you can make up any lost work, but we'll have to see what happens. All right, guys, have yourself a good weekend. Stay out of trouble. If you can't stay out of trouble, don't get caught. Bye.